Your Excellency, allow me to give a special recognition to the Chairman General, Mr. William Banda and his team. Chairman General, the President hasn't seen you. Where are you? That's the Chairman General who is there, President. The labor movement led by the ZCTU President, the Secretary General, Joy Wene, the union presidents, general secretaries present, directors from various unions present, our POs present, the District Education Board secretaries. Your Excellency, these are the custodian of our members. Can I see District Education Board secretaries, POs upstanding if they are here? We extended an invitation to all the 10 provincial education officers and a number of district education board secretaries. Where are you? The Dean of Debs, I can see you. Wow. Your Excellency, these are very important cadres of education. They are the implementers of our policies. Without them, we are nothing. We remain highly indebted for coming. Please, take your seats. The BETUZ partners who are present, the leaders, invited distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the media houses present here, we are glad to acknowledge you. And please, you are very much welcome. The importance of the media under these circumstances can never be overemphasized. Whatever we are doing for them to be relayed, broadcasted, conveyed to the rest of the world, it's them who are behind that. So, with special recognition to the media houses present here. Allow me also to recognize the presence of the commissioners. I saw Commissioner Lukwesa. Commissioner Lukwesa, from the Teaching Service Commission. Teachers, those are your employers. The chairperson for Teaching Service is here. Madam, with due respect, your teachers would want to see you. You recently promoted a number of them. So these are our employers. We are glad that you could find time out of a busy schedule to come and celebrate with us. May I also mention that Mr. Levi Ngoma, that team seated there from State House, we are glad that you have come to join us. We are very happy that you are with us. Let me go to my written speech now. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Basic Education Teachers Union of Zambia, indeed on my own behalf, we are deeply honored to welcome you to this historic Silver Jubilee celebration. We don't want to take your coming here for granted, but rather to be highly appreciative that you are such a busy man. Yesterday you were here almost half the day, and today you are here with us. This shows how committed you are to duty. This shows how workaholic you are and want to emulate this kind of spirit of working very hard. Your Excellency, allow me to begin by expressing our profound gratitude to you for gracing this occasion, but also to put it on record that this is the first time BETUZ is lucky to have the Republican President, sitting Republican President, to come and be part of our celebrations. Your presence today, Your Excellency, is a testament to the premium that your government places on teachers, unions, and the education sector as a whole. Mr. President, as we reflect on the BETUZ journey, our memories remain vivid of our humble beginnings. Our story cannot be told without mentioning your name, Your Excellency. You stood with us in our formative years, honoring one of our earliest meetings when we were just beginning. Colleagues, allow me to mention that through the collective wisdom of our leaders, some of them are here. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. You are very much welcome. When we are struggling with liquidity, we extended an invitation to the UPND as an opposition party back then in 2007, 2008, and His Excellency came to Taj Pamozi and gave us something which has helped us to grow the institution. This is the history that shall remain in our annals of our books as an institution. You stood with us in our formative years, like I mentioned, honoring one of our earliest meetings when we were just beginning. Today, Your Excellency, as a Republican president, you have yet again honored another invite to come and grace this gathering, a continuity of support we deeply cherish. Along the BETUZ journey, the union has continued to grow in strength and membership, largely owing to the massive teacher recruitment that has expanded the teaching workforce and renewed hope within the education system. Mr. President, allow me to mention that you have helped BETUZ to grow in 4 years plus from 35,000 membership. We are now over 72,000 members, making BETUZ, Your Excellency, to be the biggest union in the education sector as well as in the Republic. If I'm to exaggerate a little bit, I would say it's one of the biggest unions in the SADC region. This is so because of your transformative policies, which has seen the recruitment of over 45,000 teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on record that the first budget of his administration saw the recruitment of the 30,496 teachers. His second budget saw the recruitment of 7,722. The third budget saw the recruitment of 4,200. The fourth budget, as we speak, will see the recruitment of 2,000 teachers. Next year's budget will have 3,500 teachers recruited. Altogether, 48,000 teachers in 5 years. Viva HH, viva! Viva President Dudu, viva! Viva President, viva! So these numbers, Your Excellency, where the playing field has been leveled, where we interact with the ministries, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education on the equal footing, has seen the tools leveraging on the numbers that you have recruited. We are very grateful for this, and please continue thinking of how best we could better our sector. Mr. President, your presence here today is a strong demonstration of your administration's recognition of education as a pillar of national development, and that teachers are key in shaping Zambia's future. We deeply appreciate this gesture of engagement, dialogue, and respect for the teaching profession. As you have always emphasized, Your Excellency, education is indeed the cornerstone of national development. Every classroom shapes not only individual learners, but also the socio-economic and moral fabric of our nation. Teachers, therefore, occupy a strategic position in Zambia's development agenda. We strongly believe that no education reform can succeed without meaningful engagement with teachers, who are the frontline implementers of government policies. Mr. President, progress in education is achieved through constructive dialogue Your open door policy has greatly helped in sustaining the prevailing industrial harmony that exists today. BETUZ remains committed to principled, solution-oriented engagement with government and all stakeholders, guided by mutual respect and the shared goal of improving education outcomes for our learners. Guest of honor, the Basic Education Teachers Union of Zambia, BETUZ, is a national teacher trade union movement established in 1997, legally registered in 1999, under the Industrial Labor Relations Act Cap 269 of the laws of Zambia. In the same year, BETUZ signed the recognition agreement with Ministry of Education, and through the Ministry of Education, with, of course, the principal mandate of representing teachers. Over the years, BETUZ has grown into a household name in the education sector, both locally and internationally. Today, of course, BETUZ proudly represents those numbers that I talked about, over 72,000. Almost a quarter of the entire public service. This is so because of your good policies. So, BETUZ, Your Excellence, has its representation across all levels of education, ECE, primary, basic, secondary, and tertiary, in both public and private institutions. What is BETUZ all about? What is it that we do different from others? And I'm happy that my colleagues from other unions are present. And it's good that if they are able to replicate what we do, then we would provide valuable services to our citizens who are our teachers across the country. What is it that we do? Mr. President, as part of our commitment to giving back to teachers and improving the lives of our members, we have over the years introduced a range of products, tailor-made products and services designed to address the pressing challenges teachers face. These, Mr. President, include issues such as high levels of indebtedness, lack of decent accommodation, particularly in rural areas, upgrades working for administrative purposes, grounded in true research. These interventions, Your Excellency, are carefully tailored to complement government efforts in fostering professionalism, enhancing productivity, and building a motivated workforce. So, BETUZ Financial Services, Your Excellency, in 2022, BETUZ opened a finance company or a financial company known as BETUZ Financial Services, BFSL, whose primary role is to offer cheap and affordable low-interest loans to its members at the rate of 1.42% per month, translating into 17% per annum, compounded interest per annum, making us one of the lowest lending institutions in Zambia. BFSL offers soft loans to members up to 200,000 kwacha and refinances highly indebted members. We also anchored in financial literacy to ensure that teachers borrow for investments as opposed to consumption usages. So our portfolio, Your Excellency, stands at 19,315,000 so far, and a total of 32,347,452.17 ingwe has been disbursed from August 2022 to November 2025. We have paid over 2,500 members from the inception of the company. We are currently sitting on over 100 million application pending disbursement. We want to ask that from you, Your Excellency, to lobby for us a grant that will make us accommodate these applications for our members as a way of supporting our good cause. Your Excellency, the 2,500 teachers who are here, as well as those who are following us on our social platforms, those who are glued to televisions, a number of them are highly indebted. So what is it that we have done? We have created BETUZ Financial Services Limited, but we have a limitation in terms of resources so that we could offer loans to as many teachers as possible. I mentioned, Your Excellency, that we have over 100 million application pending disbursements. And this is so because the 17% interest per annum is highly competitive. So we are able to refinance these other loans and improve the home take pay for our members. So this is the only challenge that we have as BETUZ, Your Excellency. As I read my speech, you will not hear any other challenge apart from the issue of indebtedness. Yeah, other issues when we met on Thursday, we mentioned to you, Your Excellency. So, Your Excellency, BETUZ belongs to a regional bloc known as ANTUSA, which is the Association for Non-Aligned Teacher Unions in the Southern Africa. This ANTUSA has about 7-8 members, and every year, Your Excellency, based on a rotation basis, each member state is chosen to host the other comrades. And this same ANTUSA was birthed here in Zambia at Zambia Source Lodge in Kabwe in 2007. So next year, Your Excellency, in April, because April during the Easter holiday, it has been proved that this is the only holiday where all of us as SADC countries observe. So next year, Your Excellency, in April, during the Easter holiday, BETUZ will host 7 other countries which will come for these ANTUSA activities. On behalf of BETUZ, my Excellency, our Excellency, allow me to extend an invitation so that you come, you come and grace our occasion. My president, our president, in case you didn't know, us who interface, who interact with comrades across the region, you are the darling, you are the gem of the region. So it would be very gratifying, it would be very prudent that they come and see this president who has introduced free education to Zambia, who has done a number of things. I remember, Your Excellency, in 2022-2023, we attended a meeting which was organized by AFTRA. We were invited by Teaching Council of Zambia. The chair was there, PS administration was there. So when PS administration presented what the government had done in 2022, comrades came to ask us, is it true that there is free education in Zambia? Your PS said there's free education, people don't pay this. I said, yes, there is free education. And when continued interacting with them, they said, where did you get this present from? We said, we told them, we got from Zambia, we got him from Zambia. You are lucky to have a president who has introduced free education. We told them, apart from this free education, he has also recruited 30,496. They said it's not true. So our comrades, fast forward, my president, our president, would be delighted to see you even 10 meters away from them. It would be an honor for them to see the man who has done a lot for this country. So what do we do at ANTUSA? There are activities which include sports, cultural exchanges, symposiums, beauty pageants, and professional interactions, cross-pollination of ideas, learning good practice among sister countries. So, like I said, this year Zambia is next year Zambia is hosting, and we cordially invite you, Your Excellency. What else has BETUZ done? Through the Own to Rent initiative, we have coined the Rent to Own initiative, a concept, Your Excellency, which promotes teachers owning houses. As they rent these houses, then as they continue renting, after 5, 6, 10 years, then they'll be able to buy these houses. So next year, Your Excellence, we'll also let you know that there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the houses. We are starting with Rufwanyama next year to build houses for the teachers in Rufwanyama. BETUZ, Your Excellence, has procured huge parcels of land across the country to offer affordable plots for members and in preparation for the housing projects. Next week, Your Excellence, we'll be offering in excess of 200 plots at 6-7 miles to the teachers here in Lusaka. And I'm happy, Your Excellence, to mention that at our parcel of land, former Debs Lusaka, my brother here and there, he was one of the beneficiaries as a BETUZ member and has built a house at our complex. He is there, Your Excellency. So 200 more plots will be offloaded to our members next week. Good news coming to teachers in Lusaka. BETUZ, Your Excellency, has signed a number of MOUs. Liberty Funeral Plan and Money Saver Plan, Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board. We have invested in the LSB in excess of $1 million, and these are loans at 5% or less, which will be given to our members who want to further their education. We have also signed an MOU with Edinburgh University, which offers affordable tuition fees to our members, Zion and many others. What else are we doing for our members, Your Excellency? When these members retire, even if it's not prescribed in our Act, Cap 269 of the laws of Zambia, they get something which is known as cashback. From the time we launched cashback, we have also, eligible retirees in excess of 500 have received something from the union. So the arrangement is that for each year served, a member is entitled to 500 kwacha. Let me take advantage of this platform and mention that next year it will be 1,000 per each year served. A member will get his money. So this initiative, Your Excellency, is coined so that as our members process their documents at pensions, which you have done very well, the waiting period has been significantly reduced from 3 years, 4 years to less than 24 months. But even 24 months for them, less than 12 months is too long a period of time. So whilst they wait for that, BETUZ would have given them a check depending on the number of years that they had served with us. This is working, and we have people who have benefited from this initiative. So we remain committed to supporting members financially, even in retirement, to uplift their social and economic well-being. What else do we do, Your Excellency? If you walked into a school, you would see our teachers clad in lab coats, like they are medical doctors or they work at the hospitals. BETUZ has a factory which has employed over 50 workers, and these workers are the ones who make these lab coats. Viva BETUZ, viva! And every member is entitled to this lab coat to protect clothing from chalk dust. BETUZ also supplies quality corporate shirts, wrappers, diaries, notebooks, calendars, and other regalia to the members. BETUZ supports members facing various financial challenges on a monthly basis, such as health problems, tuition fees, transport costs, and many other forms of non-refundable assistance. But with these, our members somehow are abusing it. You are abusing it, our members, because every month, every day, we have funerals. We don't know whether they are biological parents or not, but respect of such, we are always assisting our members. Your Excellence, you'd be delighted to note that BETUZ has procured fleet of vehicles which Ministry of Education gets from us and they use. Just these exams, I don't want to mention the districts, we gave them our vehicles to help them with mobility to transfer these examination papers. Can I mention the name of some of the districts? Chiranga Devs, are you here? Yes. Rufunsa and many others, we helped with them with our vehicles for 1 month to carry out the administration and management of examinations. What else have we done? We have also bought motorbikes for our leaders, the 116 districts. At least we are at 70 or so procurement of motorbikes, just to ease their operations. These investments ensure that leaders can reach out to members in both urban and remote areas, strengthening union presence and support and workers. Colleagues, why is BETUZ so grounded? BETUZ, Your Excellence, gives back provincial leaders 20% of their monthly contributions, also funding 116 districts every month. This is what we do, and I would want my colleagues to emulate from some of these strategies so that together we can move as a team. BETUZ maintains a robust communication system strategy through all structures from school level, zonal level, district, provincial, and national level. We run active WhatsApp platforms, official Facebook page, TikTok, and official website. We interface with members regularly and actively through different programs. We have a radio program every Sunday at 11 hours. We have been running this for the past 10 years, Radio 2, between 11 hours and 12 hours. This platform gives an opportunity for our members to engage with us, tell us what they want, tell us the kind of problems that they are facing. As Zambia's largest teacher union, BETUZ actively engages government at all levels to champion teachers' welfare. Key interventions include policy matters such as pension reforms, curriculum, national education policies, promotions, upgrades, and acting appointments and negotiations, which is, of course, one of our core mandates as a trade union. So, Your Excellence, distinguished invited guests, what else have we done as a union? Key achievements in the education policy and development. We want, Your Excellence, to mention that your pair, we call this your pair, yourself, Your Excellence, and Dr. Douglas, we call yourselves as a fitting pair, which has really done so much. Dr. Douglas Hichilema, Your Excellence, is a father for all of us. When people want to politicize their positions, he will tell us, just get connected to your job. Issues of connections, I'm connected to this one, I'm from where. As far as this is concerned, those things do not arise. This has helped us to coexist in our diversity as a sector. Your Excellency, if it was in a game of football, we would say you are number 9, and Dr. Douglas is number 10, feeding you with balls. Then we would say PS Muneku is goalkeeper as PS administration. Then we would have Madam Brenda Mwika as our referee, and Labour Commission as a VAR assistant referee, making sure that cohesion, the rights of the workers are respected. We are very proud of this combination. We want to put it on record that we have worked very well with the two honorables, the Honorable Mwika Tambatamba and Dr. Douglas. Oh, okay. Thank you. I've received something that I must wind up quickly. In conclusion, Your Excellency, in conclusion, We want to mention, Your Excellency, that the school feeding program, the early childhood education, which was viewed as a preserve of the few, only for those along the line of rail, every vulnerable child here has access to this kind of education. We want to be, we are grateful for all these achievements. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we are teachers, so teachers, the minimum of talking is 40 minutes, which is one period. And normally we have 2 periods, which is 80 minutes. But I want to go beyond 30 minutes, Your Excellency. We want to be appreciative for the health centers in schools, where over 500 schools now have basic health facilities, with thousands of teachers trained to provide primary health care support. In conclusion, finally, Mr. President, BETUZ remains unwavering in its mandate to faithfully represent and defend the rights, welfare and dignity of teachers across Zambia. At the same time, we reaffirm our belief in dialogue, partnership, and constructive engagement with government. We are convinced that when labor and government work together in good faith, sustainable solutions emerge. Solutions that strengthen the teaching profession, improve learning outcomes, and advance national development. As BETUZ, we stand ready to continue this journey of collaboration, always guided by the best interests of our members and the future of our education system. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause. All right, so after that lengthy speech, I would like to call upon a dose of entertainment coming selectively from the Southern Province, and they will perform a performance of praise singing, a performance of honor, and I would like to call upon Munyama Cultural Group, who perform a tradition called Chiavilo. A round of applause, please.
Bagari wangalo batata nda shabari manu mwenda abana mala mugari mugande musongo muri mbuhindime mbabere jirenga hubo mbabere jirenga hubo utara masomu tubanaleza utara mamuno mbabere muri mangumara bashaga inde wenda gumumba eya utanguna bashaga inde ndahumina no muri barimi numwatarira gushanga imbuto yose mberere mahanga bamanesi muhanza mabashanga tokenyuna ena batata matarira gushanga free education matuhangira numwamana n'umwana muhanza mahanga maroti mahanga wose mbaberere ubaya kujomo kuriringi Nubaba yagundo ko papeo tintambo kubere balenda mbubembere balega kunje shinianza yamana bashalende muri mungu mwabo matwanza tokanyuna mabonga abantu abambunga bona bose mbabere babetisa bose mbabere baba babunga na batata batala mumboni kumuli mungu mwaberega Numama na bashainde mwanza masoma na watali okubereka uligambo kumajita sona mabala mwanza magasainina wera mwangu bamba bi 7 mwanza mausainina wanza wenda na bashainde twanza lokwenyuna wali joro mingori joro bashampendo dijoro ndamulondokera amaswale sauta bamulo bashagainde nubamba balumbana gaire sananga tulenga mugati munyiga tulandene jamba kujanza bashagainde tulandene bamwe bantu bagata jamba ya mubwa olanga kintu kirogo kujigonga bajigwa bamwe bagata jamba ya juju galajagala hulidira bamwe bagata jamba ya pombo kumwanso kumamba pombo olanga mango ajiri kumaruwa watalika kwa rumaruma tana kubizo mango waza wamania bana batata tutali mango tana kubizo atumulege shagainde alela agamuhereza ndalumba muri mango maza kumabera bashainde mubambani tinya wanagere mwenda muri mango abere galumba nashamilimo ngutaligira kumaye mupyose mware wanza bashanga gayi muntu bale puiche uriwe temagana na kumulomo ulambale satata mwana musausalala kuwamba wamania na bashaga inde ndambo ndamba ntaligira muri kansera ndamana ndawo maye mupima minister ose mware ngona urishaga inde satata ndaza ndakwenyuna Sabanga ngatabaga kamukabariki ndisoba tumuka sabamba mukabambire kushi nimega wenga ni mama nanjauka
Thank you so much, Munyama Cultural Group, for that wonderful performance. And next, I'll call upon the Minister of Education, Honorable Douglas Siakalima MP, to give us his remarks.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, fellow cabinet ministers who are here, PSs who are here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, due to brevity of time, Mr. President, let me just say one thing that I usually tell teachers wherever I go. And now that today you are here, I'm not going to do it. I always tell the teachers to stand in their stead every time that I visit them, because I always carry your message to them, that the President greets you. He has always told me, wherever you find a teacher, even if it is in a marketplace, greet that teacher on my behalf. So today, you greet them yourself. I'm relieved of that duty today. And so why has the President told me to greet every teacher wherever I find them? Because he believes that teachers are the oxygen of our country. Teachers are the lifeblood of our country and any country. And that is why I always deliver this message to every corner of our country. For your own information, Mr. President, yesterday as we were signing into law Bill 7, we were also busy somewhere with the World Bank receiving 82 secondary schools across the breadth of this country. And next year, Mr. President, using the same World Bank, we will be commissioning or receiving some more 120 secondary schools through World Bank. But to also make you at ease, government itself is finishing off so many structures which were left behind next year. Some of them are finishing this year, and a total number of 165 secondary schools will be finished this year. We have also embarked on early childhood centers of excellence. As you know, Mr. President, you are the champion of early childhood education in Africa. Congratulations for that once again, Mr. President. One other thing today which I was actually perusing through, Mr. President, when you came into office in 2021, there were only 23,000 students who were receiving scholarships and bursaries throughout the country in all the 10 public universities. Today, as we sit now, there are 53,000 students receiving loans and bursaries. You can never imagine from 1966 up to 2021, there were only 23,000 students. From 2021 up to date, there are 53,000 students receiving bursaries, courtesy of yourself. Thank you. It is now my honor and rare privilege to call upon the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to address us, Mr. President.
You may take your seats, please. Mungankale, Navekale Mkwai. Thank you very much, Mukalanshi. Let me acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Education, other ministers that are present here. Let me acknowledge the President of BETUZ, of course, the Mother Union, President of ZCTU, Secretary General, EFFTUZ. Let me acknowledge the BETUZ General Secretary, Yasinkala. Let me acknowledge, of course, the overall leadership of the Public Service Secretary Cabinet, and all your PSCs, if I may say, central government, local government, quasi-government institutions. Let me acknowledge the chair of the Teaching Service Commission. Let me acknowledge the chair of the Local Government Service Commission. Let me also acknowledge other leaders, BETUZ leaders, and structures, all of you. Let me acknowledge, if I may say, other unions that are represented here. I'm told the founder members of BETUZ are also here. We recognize you. You did a great job. You had the vision. You had the vision to start BETUZ. I can go on, but not to take too much time. I must acknowledge all of the teachers that are here. all of the teachers that are here. And if I may say, media, sometimes we forget the media, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by acknowledging the messages that have already been delivered by those who have spoken before me. Great messages, Minister, BETUZ, Secretary General, delivered important messages. What I'll try and do is just put context to some of those messages, and maybe by way of emphasis to indicate some critical areas that I chose to share with you today. But before I go into the content of my message today, I want to clearly and definitively say the minister was right. Every time he reaches out or interacts with the teachers, I ask him to greet the teachers for me. But today I will do it for myself, as he has said. So I greet you all the teachers of Zambia. Greetings. I say the teachers of Zambia, you who are seated here are hearing physically this greeting, but through the media, all the other teachers are greeted together with you in this hall. So once more, greetings to the teachers of Zambia. Am I not a product of a teacher? Am I not a product of teachers? So, what do you think I feel about you? You created this president. You produced this president. Clap for yourselves. Any medical doctor or nurse, and indeed other teachers, are products of teachers. Any skill, any profession, sometimes we take it for granted. We forget that we are products of teachers. Let's clap for all our teachers. So I'm honored here to be here to celebrate BETUZ's 25-year anniversary. This Silver Jubilee anniversary, I'm truly honored to be the first head of state to officiate at such functions. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. Sometimes people like me take it for granted that they will always be invited to be the guests of honor. It's not true. So really, I feel privileged. You think that I've done you a favor. Actually, you've done me a favor to be able to stand before my teachers. To stand before my teachers. Truly a privilege. Thank you, BETUZ. So we join you in celebrating 25 years of BETUZ's existence. And a lot has been done in the 25 years you have been around, providing various services, as the Secretary General articulated, to the teachers, to our teachers. I thought he wouldn't say what we did in 2007 or so, but he said it. And it wasn't to do you any favor as BETUZ. It was in a way, in a small way, to pay back for what you have done to many of us, including myself. Please take note of that. And whatever else we will do with BETUZ is anchored on that understanding that teachers are important. Their welfare is important. If the mind of the teacher is not in a good position, a good frame, they will not teach those kids effectively. That's important, isn't it? That's very important. So thank you for all that you've done as a union over the last 25 years. But also your affiliate mother body, and that president here supporting you. Thank you, ZCTU. Thank you, President Mulala and your team. This is the way it should be. And I want to give a little advice, advisory notes, that when you grow the way you've grown, do not discard your mother union. Because there will be a day you need certain things to be dealt with or by the mother union. That's the way it's supposed to be. So that's my encouragement, my advice to you. Truly, before I go far, I must say something you know I would say in an environment like this, that education is the best investment. Equalizer and inheritance. Give your children gifts of cars. Without education, you are doing nothing. Give your children high levels of love. You fly them around wherever they want to go on holiday. If you haven't given them the education, you are throwing money in the drain. Give them the education. You have given them tools that no one can take away from them. So I have made a point very clear that this government does not see education as a social service. Education is now deeply engraved as one of the economic sectors of our country. And by that alone, it means it will receive a lot more attention, a lot more support. I will not answer what the General Secretary was saying item by item, but just by that definition and classification, reclassification from a service, social service sector to an economic sector, it answers some of the issues that he has touched on. That's the headline message. BETUZ has strengthened our education sector. As we have heard, welfare of teachers has been enhanced. Invariably, consequentially, BETUZ, you teachers through BETUZ as your platform, you are contributing greatly to economic development. And you know that this government has a clear thrust from our opposition days as an opposition political party that once we're elected in office, we would focus on economic restructuring. Economic growth, growth and more growth, so that we can generate higher incomes to support our population. Jobs. So what you see happening, and I'll talk about that, with the employment of teachers, is not a coincidence. It's a plan of this government. We want to thank you as citizens. Yes, God's will, but the courtesy of you citizens for electing us into public office as your servants on the 12th of August 2021. It is you who put us in office, and other citizens, of course, that have enabled us to pursue our vision of Zambia. And so you have contributed, you are contributing, in addition to training skills that the economy needs, as I've touched on already. But by putting us in office, you as citizens, and I believe the parents of the children you teach, and other Zambians, you did a great job. So now, what you see is a consequence, direct result of that decision you made. And I will touch that a little bit later. So, you are key to national development. Teachers and the BETUZ continue doing what you're doing with that understanding, awareness that you are critical to the development agenda of our country. Just imagine, as I said earlier, that there was no one to teach agricultural science, no one to teach plumbing skills, no one to teach all of those essential life skills. How would the economy function? This government understands your role, and it will continue working with you to advance the environment under which learning and teaching takes place. And I'll touch on that a little bit. So, know your place, that you are valued, that you are critical, that if you didn't handle the children that you teach properly, you would actually sink the country's economic fortunes. Please remember that. Please remember that. Even the Teaching Service Commission needs to be alive to that fact that we must facilitate the improvement of the teaching learning environment overall. Very important. Let me touch on the policy of free education. It is not by accident that this UPND government introduced free education, reintroduced free education. We campaigned on it. We made it public. When we said we will reintroduce free education, our competitors laughed at us. Those who were in government then, now they're in opposition. They say, to finance free education. And our answer was that we know where the money is. Because the resource envelope is always limited. It's a question of your priorities. And therefore, education is a priority to us, being the best investment, equalizer inheritance. We wanted to make sure that every kid has access to education. Whether she lost or he lost parents, single, double, orphan, they are entitled to education. And it's not a favor to them. It is a necessity for their survival. It is also a necessity for the economy. You can see the interface there, the intersection. That's how we see education and the free education. So we had to cut expenditure, frivolous consumption expenditure. I know many of you have forgotten that the President announced when we came in that there will be no new VXs for ministers. I know ministers were rioting about it. But I explained to them that one VX costs so much money. Yet what you need is a vehicle to take you to where you want to go to. And we saved money there and added that money to education. Free education. Cut travel. And you will see the story the way I'm going. Very soon you see it. And how it affects you seated in this room today. And BETUZ. We cut travel, size of delegations. Before our time in government, Every time there was a UN General Assembly, over 120 public servants traveled to New York. The president, if he travels, 25 people. From over 120, those savings we add to the free education. Then we said, colleagues used to go there, some advanced part, 1 month, they're in New York, 1 month. So we cut the length of stay there. This president goes to the UN, arrived today, tomorrow is in the General Assembly, following day, third day in the day I'm having business meetings, investors, attracting investors, including what you hear today, Mingomba project. That's how this chief salesman and marketing officer attracted them. Now you have a $2 billion investment there. So third day, after my side meetings, our side meetings, in that night I leave and I'm back home the following day. Cut the length of stay, savings, put to free education. Let me remind you, in the region, this president has a policy, and it annoys the people around the president, because if there's a meeting in Johannesburg, I'll go early in the morning, in the evening I'm back. I do the same in Angola, in Kenya. I was in Dodoma at the inauguration of President Suluhu Hassan. I left home at 03 in the morning, arrived in Dodoma at 9 hours. By 19:30, 20 hours, I was back here, same day. So my guy said, this man is cutting, is chopping us. We need more night allowances. I said, Icona, man. One Zambia, one nation. We must love our country. It must show in the way we use public resources. And savings from there will go to free education. Can you see? Same envelope. With the debt restructuring, we were still able to support the free education policy by moving money away from consumption expenditure to investment. Which investment? The education sector, free education. I wanted to make that point very clear at this BETUZ Silver Jubilee, so you can understand that if a leadership wants to achieve something, it can achieve it if it means what it says, to walk the talk. That's the message. As a consequence of that, we have over 2 million children who were out of school, school-going age, parents couldn't afford. Those kids have now come back to school, and you are the witnesses of those kids in the schools, that the kids have come back. That's what free education has done. Now, as we expand the economy, we will do more. Yesterday in this hall, we had monks and momas over there. They too now are receiving meal allowances. That's how we consider education. Free education is beyond just the primary, secondary school, but also university through meal allowances, through more bursaries. You've heard the minister talk about more bursaries. Numbers don't lie. That's why I love my numbers. So why the late Sata, may he so rest in peace, President Sata, used to call me a calculator boy. And he would ridicule me by calling me that. I mean, don't worry. I used to enjoy him calling me that. So my response is that, sir, you need a calculator to know things, to do things properly. Numbers don't lie. Right? So our calculations is that free education is not just primary, now early childhood education, thank you for mentioning. It is also college, university, more bursaries, meal allowances. Meal allowances. it is also exam fees. What's the point of teaching a kid for free when exam time comes? The parents can't afford exam fees, the child doesn't write an exam. Is there a logic in that? So I said to this minister, Minister Hakainde, I will not want to hear a kid not writing the exam after we've covered the educational cost. Now they don't have exam fee. I issued a directive, government will pay for the exam fees. Simple. Now let me draw a connection to you, to the Silver Jubilee celebrations. You had testimonials there. Teachers who graduated 2017, they were not employed. Wasting them. Some were even forgetting their tools mentally. Teaching primary subject, fundamental subject, and the teaching methods, right? Two things. If they don't practice, they'll forget, isn't it? 2017, 2018, no jobs. By introducing free education, bringing these 2 million plus kids into school, keeping college kids in school, because we now can support them through bursaries and meal allowances and exam fees and building more hostels, it created a demand for you people seated in this room. Can you see the connection? That is why we said, because of two things. One, before we came into office, the pupil-teacher ratio was horrible. You will find a primary school with 2 or 3 teachers instead of maybe 8 or 9 teachers. Gap there. By bringing free education, more kids came, then the demand for you increased. That is why we employed at one shot 30,000 teachers. That's a consequential effect of the free education policy. And that's how we knew that we'll be able to offer jobs to you who are seated here, such as those you have had. I'm unhappy with this because I asked for more testimonials to be had there. That's really what matters today, of those who were employed and given an opportunity by this government. So there then BETUZ grows to over 72,000 members from 35,000. Numbers don't lie. What brought in that number to 72,000 for BETUZ to be a strong union, even to be large in the context of SADC, is because of this government's policy. I knew I was coming to teachers. I had to wake my brain so that I can also present a lecture, which is consistent with teaching practices. Be careful. I may become a teacher one of these days. Luckily, I will not take up away your job, because I will be a teacher who is what the lawyers say, gratis, no payment. So I'm not taking away your job. I wanted to show you the connection as you celebrate 25 years of BETUZ, that the phenomenal growth you have experienced is because of this government policy and placing education as an economic sector, critical sector, to our agenda for economic growth and more growth. Can you see the connection? And then we create opportunities, not just for our children to go back to school and the parents to save them from the cost of school fees and exam fees, but also to create an opportunity for our own teachers and this union. I hope you have read the story now. Very clear. So let's work as partners. We have a lot more things to do. This was just the beginning. So Teaching Service Commission, BETUZ, ZCTU, let's work together, and other unions. Government, Cabinet Office, let's work together to improve the learning and teaching environment. And that also requires more classrooms, isn't it? More enrollment. Now, those who were in government who were arguing with us that we will not be able to implement free education, and we have now shown them that we have been able to, even after they bankrupted the state through the debt default, we were still able to introduce free education because we believed in education as an investment. Now that we have achieved debt restructuring, and now that we are growing the economy, this government, I can confirm here, will invest more in education. BETUZ will be one of the beneficiaries, and we must work together, government and BETUZ. So the things you articulated there for the teachers, we are partners, we are together. So we have to work together to deepen the teachers' welfare, broaden, deepen the teachers' welfare. That's a connection. That's the way we work. Everything is calculated. When we took public office, I said we'll run the country in a methodical way. And people started making jokes as a ridicule to this president. Mr. Methodical, it's not working. Methodical is not working. I said, Pembera first, Pangono Mulindi. Yeah? Now you can see the convergence of that organized, methodical way of working. And BETUZ is a beneficiary of that. Those young teachers are beneficiaries of that. BETUZ could not do the things they're doing, Sinkara, without this government making it possible to give you more members, for members to pay for you to do what you do. So already this government is your partner, is responsible in making you deliver for these teachers. Isn't it? We love you. This is how we demonstrate our love to you. It's not by noise. It's not by shouting. It's not by cheating. It is how we demonstrate the love for our teachers. My teachers. You, my teachers. That's how we do it. Any other way is deception. Is cheap talk. And you can draw the parallels yourself. Graduate in 2017, no job. 2018, 2019, 2020. Imagine a young lady taking a job to work in the bank. Imagine the vulnerabilities that were there. We are demonstrating the love for her and you to say, you graduate, you practice your trade because of our policies. And there's mutuality there. That's the difference. Bana ba Yesu, barongoba, mwewa nandi, banzanga. That's a connection. And that's how we demonstrate in practice our love and support for you. And you must extend this love and support to the children in your classrooms. Extend that love. Give them the skills that they need to be teachers of tomorrow. Because you have children, isn't it? You may be a lucky teacher to teach your own biological children. Someone else will teach your children. So these you are teaching now are the teachers of your children and grandchildren. You see the connection? Simple. That's how philosophically I figure out what I do as your chief servant. I put context, And that I'm a beneficiary. How can I now deliver to you? We deliver to you and to those after you. This is it. I said, with this policy now, more school space, classroom space. Then we jump to CDF. You are seeing the schools being built in your schools, isn't it? More classrooms. Is that not true? Are you seeing classrooms being built in your schools? CDF. Connected. It's not by chance. It's all calculated. Bam, 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 bam. It's all calculated. It's all connected. What else? Desks. Now we're saying water and sanitation. For the first time in the history of this country, we are taking nationwide waterborne toilets, flush toilets, which even you teachers used to use pit latrines. Now you can have decency. Imagine a young lady, 24-year-old lady, gets a job in Chama, Chief Kambom, at a school. And she has to go to a pit latrine. Her morale is already affected negatively. Now we are putting flush toilets in rural areas through boreholes, solar, water reticulation. And in your house, you can have a shower as a lady teacher. How about that? This is the issue. CDF. Classrooms, desks, kids used to sit on the floor. How can a kid learn sitting on the floor? How? It's painful there. Discomfort. How do they write when you are lecturing, you're teaching? Now, water and sanitation. That's what your government is doing. So, BETUZ, for you to improve the conditions for these teachers, you must understand that you are in partnership with the government. Then we'll work much easier with each other. I don't want to waste your time. I just told you that I'm going to put context to the messages that have already been given. This is the way I'm putting context. So there are now other things that we need to take care of so that you, the teachers, your job can be eased and BETUZ will continue to grow. Again, to service the teachers. Invariably, consequentially, service the pupils better. Infrastructure is what I'm talking about. Water and sanitation, electricity. And now, it's been touched already, having health services at the schools. This is supposed to grow into a universal facility. Every school going forward should have health services right in the school premises. Improving the learning and teaching environment, teaching and learning environment. What else? You have heard already school feeding program. Expanding initially from few districts, now to how many? Almost all. How many? 106. 116. All the districts. I think we should clap for that. That's what we should be celebrating 25 years Silver Jubilee of BETUZ. In 2007, when we met and we were ducking and diving there, I was the most hunted opposition leader. Now you can do it freely. Freedom is part of the learning and teaching environment. The teacher is free. You don't have to look over your shoulder. Is there a cadre who is going to come and harass me? There's nobody now. You are free. Your minds are free. You can prepare your lessons with a free mind. I know you take that for granted. Freedom, you should never take that for granted. It wasn't there just more than 4 years ago. A teacher had to duck and dive. What do they say in class in case a ruling party cadre then had PF cadre? If the PF cadre had something and it didn't please them, you are in trouble. Now you can exercise your profession freely. Do not take things for granted. And when we say this country must remain peaceful, we must not go in the streets. If we are aggrieved as teachers, as BETUZ, don't take these teachers in the streets. Take them to the dialogue table. That's an environment. It becomes then a habit so that we can remain productive instead of damaging classrooms, breaking windows. That's our asset. Let's dialogue. Let's talk to each other. Simple. Curricula has changed for the better. So we bring skills early. A kid who is not good in mathematics or biology is not a failure. If that kid is good in plumbing, in carpentry, in metalwork, let's support them at an early age. You teachers must identify the talents of these kids. And I hope, Minister, we are bringing back careers masters. Those who had gone, now we should bring them back. BETUZ, we must insist that we must have careers masters. Masters generically, don't call me discriminating. Or mistresses. Careers master or mistress. Let's identify kids early and their talents. And let's push them in the right direction. Teachers, BETUZ, you are important in doing that. And you must give feedback, for example, to the curricula, the new curricula. Give feedback. After all, you are the designers. But give feedback. Two-way process. We want a curricula that is relevant to industry. Entrepreneurial skills. If you asked me now, if HHU were to start again, I would actually start working for myself at 22 years old. I started working for myself at 27 years old. I would start at 22, even when I'm still in university, I would start a side business. Let's teach kids entrepreneurial skills, not always looking for a job. They should be able to work for themselves. Employ someone else. That is important, colleagues. The teacher recruitment numbers have been given already. I don't want to repeat that. But we shall continue recruiting teachers, recruiting you. And the message is that those who have not been recruited, be patient. You can see those from 2017 are coming through now. So next, it is your time. Don't lose hope. Please, let's encourage the other teachers not to lose hope. Because their time is coming. BETUZ, you will receive more members. Sinkara, don't think you are a master of recruitment. We are recruiting for you. Thank you for accommodating the people we are recruiting for you and working with them. You see how much we are interdependent. We do understand the issue of pay. We do understand the delays in upgrading teachers. We do understand that issue. So we sit down and work with each other. ZCTU, President Mulala, and the Secretary General, General Secretary, were briefing me about the negotiations going on. I'm alive to those issues, and we are working on them. I've explained to Mr. Mulala a technicality which I don't want to make public, but that technicality will fall away very soon, and we'll be able to conclude. I've guided the team to conclude soon. But I also want you to understand that this government has walked from a bankrupt economy. In 4 years, we're able to get the economy moving. I want BETUZ and you, the teachers, to work with your government. A government which supports you, a government which loves you. And with more growth of the economy, you will see, you don't even have to raise certain issues. They will become obvious. But there was no capacity to pay. Remember, there was a wage freeze before we came in. Maybe you've forgotten already. Mwaibala? Limbina mulava? Kaya mtoto Zambians, bala lava. Quickly. Please, let's work together. As partners, let's work together. Members, teachers, BETUZ, ZCTU, let's work together. The journey is bright. Where I stand, I can see where we're going. There. And with all the hurdles we've cleaned up now, most of them debt restructuring, mining coming up, agriculture coming up, food security, I can see that now we'll move faster than the last 4 years. That's what I would say, colleagues. Touched on school infrastructure, health services, school feeding program. I repeat that a little bit. If a kid is hungry, it's difficult to teach that kid. I think you have seen it yourselves already. So we'll continue working together. Talked about curricula, embracing ICT, STEM, entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur myself. One of the issues that I saw caused a bit of delay by you to elect me into office, you used to accuse me of things that were not true. As though entrepreneurship is a sin. For the economy to grow, it needs entrepreneurs. That's why you must teach children entrepreneurship. You yourselves must graduate, some of you, to become entrepreneurs from teaching, and we'll support you in doing that. That's why we have CEC facilities. That's why we have CEC facilities. That's why we have also, centrally, Mr. Kangwa, a financing facility. Are the teachers not part of that? Yeah. Mr. Zinkala, yes, Zinkala was proudly saying your interest rate is 17%. Me, when I came in, the public service, what do we call it? Public service microfinance institution, when you elected us into office, the interests were 19%. I dropped that interest to what? To 12%. So I'm better than BETUZ. Asinkala, what's that so na barrier? Now you see, you can get a facility from the BETUZ. You can also go to the microfinance facility where the president, by decree, by the powers conferred to me by you, I have directed that the interest rates must drop to 12% from 19%. It is to support you so you can have a better teaching learning environment, as the school feeding program is. We work together. Our education now is aligned to global standards. Minister, thank you for the new curriculum, aligning our educational system to global standards so that our kids don't have to do A-levels when they go to other, universities after they're done with you. So from 2, from 4, from 6. In our time, we had to, if a kid was to go to Europe for their studies, they had to do a bridge year or 2 years, equivalent to A-levels. Now, we've done away with that. It's all because of these calculations, combining things. Going into the future, let's work together, teachers, BETUZ, minister, all ministries, government, digital learning will become very, very important. So even the BETUZ members, as we celebrate 25 years, we must start retooling ourselves for digital learning. You as teachers. Isn't it? Are we together? We are together. We want to see stronger partnerships. Ministry of Education is only one. Local government must partner more with schools, with education. Agriculture. Mines. The skills training which we talked about. The bursaries at secondary school, boarding school. We want to improve that. Some of you are teaching in boarding schools, isn't it? Colleges with hostels. We want to improve that. That's packages and also strategic partnership with industry. At an early age, industry must partner with BETUZ, teachers, schools. I see the value myself. Even what we say, internships. Internships. Me, I wrote my final exam at UNZA on Friday. On a Monday, I had a full-time job. Because in my early years, I was an intern in a firm called Corpus and Library. And because the firm had seen my second year results, third year results, fourth year, they knew, we was up as out. No change it out. So they gave me a job already on a Monday. It was because there was a linkage already. By the time my colleagues waited for the exams to come out, results, and they joined the firm, I was already promoted one notch. It's not a joke, it's serious. So we want to return to those days of internships, even at secondary school with agricultural businesses. And that will help us identify the kids, BETUZ, that are talented in different ways, as early as that. So we want to see that. Innovation is crucial. I think we touched on other things already. Nalanda Pafula. Nalanda Pafula. So, congratulations to BETUZ. Silver Jubilee. Congratulations to you, the teachers, members of BETUZ. Congratulations to the labor union movement. I already said your government has your back. This UPND government has your back. It's your partners. You can see what is done to teachers who were unemployed for so long. So we've already demonstrated our partnership with you. So let's believe in each other. Let's continue dialogue. Viva teachers, viva! Viva! Viva teachers, viva! Viva! Viva BETUZ! Viva! Viva BETUZ! Viva! May God bless you all. May God bless BETUZ. May God bless our lovely country, Zambia. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for His Excellency. We thank you, Your Excellency, for that speech. And because we are honoring the teachers, it is their day. So those special teachers will be awarded at this point. So the Teachers Union, the presents, I don't know if there are medals, they're already here. So at this point in time, the teachers to be awarded, the recipients for these awards, when your name is called out, I think you can and this is a special day. Imagine being awarded by His Excellency, the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who will step down. I think I'll call upon the Minister of Education, together with the President, to present these awards to the following recipients: Jairus Banda, George Mutambo, Victor Mwanza, Collins Siulapwa, and Maggie Kaulu. And later on, we will have another award-giving ceremony to the former BETUZ leaders, so the award recipients again: Jairus Banda, George Mutambo, Victor Mwanza, Colin Siulapwa, and Maggie Kaulu. A big round of applause for your hard work. Another round of applause. Okay, and now at this point in time, let's be seated so that, we can all see the people being given awards. And I'm sure we can do better than that. Let's clap for them. Mr. George Mutambo. Followed by Mr. Victor Mwanza. Mr. Collins Siulapa and Madam Maggie Kaulu can be on standby. We can do far much better than that. And at this point in time, Your Excellency, I'm told the teachers have a special presentation they would like to give you. A round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. A special award for His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So the other lady, please help us to switch on the microphone so that we can hear what is being said.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and rare privilege to present this wonderful gift to His Excellency, the President. Why are we doing this to our beloved President? We are honoring them. We are honoring the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for outstanding contributions to the education sector at this gathering. What has he done? Free education, recruitment of 45,000 teachers, school feeding program of almost 116 districts, meal allowance to our universities, among many other transformative issues. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
At this point in time, we're almost coming to a close, so we'd like to invite a vote of thanks, which will be given by the BETUZ President, Mr. Binston Tembo.
This one? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Viva BETUZ, viva! Haihule BETUZ, haihule! Harara maticha zarara! Harara makateka harara! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The President of the Republic of Zambia, our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the Cabinet Ministers who are here, actually, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 Cabinet Ministers. Remember, Minister of Education cannot stand on its own. We have the Minister for Labor as well as the Minister for Law Government and Housing. The Permanent Secretary is present here. Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, President, and the SG. The senior UPND officials present, the Teaching Service Commission chairperson, the provincial education officers from all over the country, the DEBs. In the interest of time, should I say, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting the media. My name is Elias Ntimpa. The Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, on behalf of the Basic Education Teachers Union of Zambia, BETUZ, I wish to extend our sincere appreciation to the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for honoring our invitation to grace this occasion. Mr. President, thank you very much for your inspirational address delivered to us today. Your speech has reaffirmed government's recognition of teachers as true partners in national development and not mere implementers of policy. Mr. President, we are encouraged by your clear commitment to enhancing education and strengthening teacher capacity, particularly in addition to the effective implementation of the new competence-based curriculum. We take special note of government's emphasis on continuous professional development, the continued infrastructure development in the education sector, the continuous recruitment of teachers among the many other positive developments that have taken place since you took over office. Viva 30,000 viva! Viva 4,500 viva! Viva everybody in here, viva! These milestones speak to your continued desire to see an educated Zambia. As BETUZ, we reaffirm our continued desire to work hand in hand with your government, the Minister of Education and other stakeholders to supplement government efforts in enhancing the education sector in Zambia. The sole purpose of our commitment is to see to it that education translates into meaningful learning outcomes for our learners, learning outcomes that translate into responding to the needs of our society. Mr. President, we are further encouraged by the spirit of dialogue and partnership that you keep emphasizing. It is only through collaboration, mutual respect, and shared responsibility that we can be able to safeguard the future of the Zambian child. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, cooperating partners and stakeholders, I would like to end by sincerely thanking you for your efforts to making this conference a success. With these few words, I would like to end by wishing everyone a fruitful conference. Thank you very much. May God bless you all. Viva teacher!